Proxy Table Gaming, PTG. I am Hyper G. I am with Lucky Sixes.
In high definition, folks.
Are you in high definition, or is it just different?
Oh, it's very different. There's different surroundings, microphone, new webcam, lighting. I actually can't see anything. I'm blind. But hopefully it's better for you.
Well, that is the question, isn't it? Because you've changed your whole setup, haven't you? We need to know whether you sound clearer.
Yes.
Better.
Clearer, better, more
stronger,
annoying.
faster.
I don't know whether that's changed.
Probably a maximum level, to be fair.
I don't think. That's not possible. Right? In the man cave, which is now PTG HQ.
Oh, is it? Okay. Is that the official name for it? Okay.
I don't know. I need to go past the board with that.
I know. There's a rigorous application form to fill out. Yeah, so that is the man cave that I haven't been in for over a year.
Yeah, man.
It's changed so much. I literally won't recognise it. I'll be like, where's the man cave? It's gone.
You won't. Brick has changed to plasterboard. And other things.
I won't need to wear six layers.
What was it?
Clothing.
The first time you saw it on a Zoom call, obviously, was you said Jamiroquai.
Jamiroquai, yeah. Travelling Without Movement. The video. Have you seen the video now? Still haven't watched it, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, you have watched it?
Yeah. Okay. I see the comparison for sure.
Oh, good.
Mainly in me, right? Because I'm so charismatic.
Well, absolutely. That is exactly what I meant, yeah. So why are we here?
But anyway,
why are we here? Battle report, surely.
The show doesn't stop, folks. We're here with TSC Battle number 3, round 3, Boomtastic Beast Herds, whoa, against the Empire.
This battle, eh? Oh, I remember this battle. Well, I remember of it. Yeah. Few details about it, I remember.
Yes. We'll crack on. So my list, you'll know, is basically a couple of characters, Krugar included, loads of monsters, and then some centaurs and stuff around it. Flesh it out.
Yeah.
Ambushes or whatever. His list starts off from the bottom. We'll go from the bottom up. I feel that's most appropriate. So he's got a steam tank, which obviously has a cannon. 2 volley guns, which have a lot of shots. 23 Imperial Rangers, which are good against beasts. 15 Reiters, which equates to 45 shots. Then 20 infantry crossbows, so strength 4 AP 2, 20 of them. Then he's got, to prove that it's a combat list, he's got the electoral cav and heavy infantry, so it's definitely a combat list. And then he's got some marshals with a great griffin.
I like that. I like that style. Out of interest, I think the Reiters are 30 shots actually. They're in 2 braces of pistols, 2 shots each, aren't they?
Okay.
But it's still going to hurt.
Yeah, what's the brace of...
Repeater guns are 3 shots.
Isn't it? Oh, yeah, of course. Sorry, so it is even more combat-y.
Yeah, exactly. Not less shooty. Yeah. So. Yeah. And actually, we know that we're saying writers correctly now, thanks to, I think it was Mark Carroll. Is that the name I said? I've forgotten the name now. Yeah, Mark Carroll put a comment in a previous Empire video telling us how to say writers. Gave us a bit of a clue as to whether we were saying that right.
Proper history lesson.
Writers. It was good. Very much appreciated. So thank you.
So we'll continue to attempt to call them writers.
We will. This is going to hurt then. Your beast list.
So prior to it, I'm like, you know what? It's pretty shooty. Looking at the objectives.
It's not even deceptively shooty.
Is it? Really isn't. Spores of War and March Column. So, I mean, March Column's a bit annoying, but so I've got 2 plans with it really going into the game. I can either try and sit back, hold him off for as long as possible, and then take some counter charges when he moves up, which he inevitably will have to because the Spores of War. He'll feel quite strong and want to get the objective. So I want him to move his shooting and then have to counter charge him that way, or try and be really gung ho aggressive, which potentially is the way I get a big win. But he won the... so I won the roll for sides, which meant he got the chance to drop for first, and did.
Sure.
We'll get onto the deployment in a minute, but it kind of... in my head, I was like, if I get first turn, I'd go aggressive. If I don't, I go defensive. So it kind of... That put me in that spot, really. Moving on to deployment, and this is it. After deployment and Vanguard, so I went defensive. I think it's safe to say. I put the Giants... the Gortak and the Giant on the left, very left, down first, as well as the Chariots on the right, to sort of presume...
Because you had to drop 3 each, didn't you?
Yeah, because we had to drop 3. Oh no, that can't have been right, actually, because of marching columns. So I must have done... Yeah, I must have done something. I must have done the...
3 on the left.
Yeah, either the 3 on the left or the 3 on the right. I can't remember, you know. I remember putting the Chariots down on the right, actually, quite early. So maybe I put the Chariots, Centaurs and Gargoyles down, actually.
Possibly. Okay.
So, yeah, that was funny. But him... but basically, he dropped anyway, so it was less of an issue after that. Obviously puts everything right as high up as it can. All his right is on the left, that's Monster dead over there, and but also puts his divination magic on mage on the right in his electoral cav, which I'm kind of happy about.
It's an especially interesting choice if you did deploy those 3 units on the right, because you knew that you were going to be in the left corner.
So I don't know. I can't remember, if I'm honest.
No, fair enough. We won't press on that because obviously it's a little bit unclear. But
no,
you must be happy that you're away from divination magic, though.
Yeah, very much so. It could have been actually that I did put the monsters. I think you're right. I put the monsters on the left down, going Gortak, Razor Tusk Chariot, then
you haven't had to give up much
because the Giant on the right of that 3 is intentionally there to sort of look at the writers coming up. So, so that's probably what I did, and then I must have put the Chariots on the right to just
distract.
To see distract and see if I can put stuff. They're good at impact hits, so maybe I can kill something over that side. So just sort of deployed very defensively, very high. I have made one mistake. One big mistake. So let me know. I'll let for the viewers and whatever. I won't mention it right now. But
so he's got turn 1.
He's got turn 1. So I did do a bit of jigging around and stuff. So I'll wait until it comes up. But I have made one big mistake really with that. This is after Vanguard as well. So he's moving up his.
It wasn't choosing a monster mash list, no.
All right, 2 mistakes. But I managed to, for the most part, deploy back far enough so that he had to move with his writers at least to get the shots, because I think it's brace of pistols is 12 inches. So even if he moves up, Vanguard's 12 and moves up 12. He can't. He has to move basically to shoot. And then I'm out of range of the volley guns, which were my main concern.
They can just destroy.
I've got the Soothsayer and the Gortak safe from the cannon at least. So we've just been defensive. And his turn moves
He's
up.
not.
He is not. Especially, I guess it's exaggerated because I've been defensive, right? He's just moved up. He's not threatened by anything really. Wants to get some shots away. He wants to get his magic off on my Chariots on the right. Getting in a good position for his for the spoils, but not too high. That's where we're at. You'll notice his crossbows didn't move.
No. Yes.
So magic
that could well be a big hit for the,
and there's an even bigger hit in there before I mentioned it. You've got about 10 seconds before I mention it.
10,
starting on the
generous.
right with magic. I think I stopped I want to say an Unerring Strike on them, but he still managed to get 3 wounds with the other divination.
Face Judgment, that's pretty good. Pretty good.
So yeah, moving into the left-hand side, so dodging my mistake, he gets 5 wounds off, including the steam tank, which gets 3.
Okay.
But with all of his shooting onto my giant there, so he's bleeding out. And the big mistake was his crossbows were A, in range, and B, not covered. Or my centaurs were not in cover. So I kind of lost
Balls.
8 of my 12 big unit that died.
Not great.
Yeah. They were my range as well. They were my range threat. They were going to be like a missile that
just went forward and started killing stuff,
So that wasn't good. But yeah, I mean, that's what you can do not at maximum damage as well. Yeah,
because I mean, he's literally just got crossbows, Reiters and a huntsman.
Yeah, I don't think the Imperial Rangers did much, and the Divination Magic's right on the right. So, I mean, ouch.
Yeah.
My turn.
It's pretty good shooting, to be fair, from what he had. What he was shooting with, it's a good result. So.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's only got, of the crossbows, what are they? 3, 7, 13. Did 8. So, it is a decent return.
Very good return.
But yeah, so my turn, and a few charges come out. The giant that takes loads of wounds, he's bleeding out. He's made him even more terrifying to the Riders, who both flee from terror, which is important.
Okay. I was surprised he let you keep that angle for the giant to charge him off the table.
So was I.
But then I suppose if he's thinking he's going to kill you with the Reiter shots, then maybe.
Yeah, well, even the giant next to him would ping the other guys off the board.
Exactly. I would have thought he would have moved into the ruins and had a shot from that direction, but maybe it was too fast.
Yeah. But either way, it allowed that guy to... He'll fail his... he'll stumble forward, whatever, but he does terror them both off, which is good.
Yeah.
The Gortak charges first the Imperial Rangers, who decide it's a bit close and flee, and then charge the Reiters, who have moved up a lot, and they flee as well. One of them was through terror again, but I can't remember what. But the way the Gortak is, unless he rolls a 6, and I don't think he does, he failed charges and still has the cover from the house. So so
that's cool.
I mean, I was pretty happy with this map.
That's good. You got to be happy with that result, getting the Reiters out of there, giving you a bit more breathing room.
It helps for sure. Otherwise, just a bit of a shuffle. Nothing major, to be honest. And I shuffled my guys my chariots on the right. Tried desperately to slide over and get close to the
join the rest of the army.
Yeah, the only other thing of note really is that my Krugar came out of
hiding.
I don't want him caught up in anything that could get them out of him.
Not now you've a lot less than 5 rank and file.
Yeah,
definitely.
So I'm trying to split up his shooting. I'm 18 inches from the Imperial Rangers in front of them, but nothing else with his shooting either.
Sure.
Get both the spells off. I think he failed to spell one of them. Hasten the Hour, maybe. Or maybe Touch the Reaper, actually. But I only get one off between them.
Only one? Oh, that's unfortunate.
Gutted with that. I need a bit more luck from my... Because I don't have a lot of range, so when it happens, I need it to happen. But hey,
I must do better.
Do manage to get a D3 plus 1 combat res... charge range.
Combat res? That'd be nice.
I know, right? That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Oh my god.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they are quite far back, but at least that gives them an extra 2-4 inches sort of thing, and that always helps.
No comment.
On his turn, he's only got the one charge, a fairly long one into my chariots, but obviously if he gets that, he's quite high up.
Yeah, gets him. It's like a speed bump, really.
It's not speed like bump, 11 or something. And I did consider fleeing,
just to make them stumble
forward, whatever. But I was like, well, I got to have some risks. And thankfully they didn't get in.
Okay. And they didn't bring the objective to you either.
And
Looks
they
like he's
didn't
left
claim
that
the
for
objective
his
because
heavy infantry.
Yeah, because they were the heavy infantry going for him. So, I mean, with the objective, he's got the centre one with the big unit, which isn't great unless I can get a couple of monsters in, which isn't looking likely. The one on the right, I only really have a chance to get if his electoral cav move right up.
Yeah.
While his electoral cav there, I can't really put my ambushers on there on the so. I kind of don't know really what to do with my ambushers when they come on, and I'm not really thinking about the objective at this point because I don't think I can get it playing so defensive.
Your trouble is with your ambushers is they just fail a discipline test and they're useless, aren't they? So they really can't take too much.
Yeah, they really can't do that much damage. So they're great for the scoring, but otherwise,
good for breakthrough, eh?
You would have thought, right? Divination magic knocks off a chariot again, plinking away. The steam tank does actually kill the giant here.
Oh, 2 from 2.
So 2 from 2. Yeah, I think he only did 2 wounds, but that's all he needed. So
yeah,
there you go. And my turn. So quite a few charges. So my chariots on the right are getting fed up and getting div magic to hell. There's not a lot they're going to do if they go into there, but the impact hits might help and whittle that unit down.
May as well take a few out on your way through.
And if I get really lucky on the impact hits, do like 12, for example, would be nice. And then all I want to do is win by 1 and get lucky. That's all I'm looking to do. My centaurs in the middle. I mean, I think I'm going to die, so I may as well try and get some points. Charge into the Imperial Rangers and then see what overrun I can get.
Look menacing in the middle.
Yeah, just at least give that impression, They're not light troops because they're drunk as well, so they're not that manoeuvrable and things. I could potentially just run them into the corner and save their points, which is probably the more sensible route. But
I don't know. I don't think there's anywhere safe for them or any of your army right now.
Yeah, this is it.
Which corner?
The giant goes for a long charge on his electoral cav, and he decides to hold, mainly probably because a giant on its own isn't that. Yeah,
no Swiss giant on it.
It's just it's quite swinging. If I can get into them and get the overrun, I can get into his griffin. So we've got some options. The D3+1 charge range chariots charge the Imperial Rangers, and they decide to flee. Just because it's that much of a closer, I think, with the D3+1. It was interesting though, because I thought even if I do get in and charge and get into them, I'll have to take some DTs. So wasn't
because you haven't got Strider Ruins, have you?
No, not at all. So the ones on the right and centre get in, yay, but the giant does not. I would have traded.
That's to be expected, yeah.
Would have traded both of them, I think, for the giant getting in, but hey ho.
Absolutely, yeah.
Otherwise, just move up in a nice little curve on the left.
I know, that was a very neat little curve around the building.
But basically, just to threaten and zone that left side and that left objective. In remaining moves, all three of my ambushers come on in a unheard of thing. So. Again, with the chariots going in, actually that makes it a bit dicier for my ambushers because the chariots might die. And if they die this turn, then the ambushers would also die if they go over there. Even though
if they went on the right side,
Yeah, that's kind of where I want them to be, to threaten that second objective. But with them all coming on now, actually, I've just got to clear up this left side as much as possible. So put my Longhorns and Wild Horns on the left to try and get those points. Just try and clean up those points.
Could you not have attempted to go for the volley gun on the right? Like down to the bottom right?
I could have gone
on that way.
Perhaps could have and should have put both my Wild Horns onto that. But
you don't get many points. You get the volley gun points, but you don't get a lot else, really, do you?
Sure. So, but I did put one of my units to try and get one of them, and threaten the rear of the crossbows. So see what happens over there. In Magic, get a couple of knights That's all I get.
Good.
So, but yeah, helps me out there and helps make them not threatening or that tanky. Because even 5 of them with a 1-up armor is pretty tanky. My chariots do a decent job. I get 4 wounds off through impact hits. I don't think I do anything else. And they only do like 2 wounds or something. 3 wounds to me. So I've got a charge. Whatever happens, we hold. I can't remember. I think I maybe lose by 1 or draw or something like that. But
you're on the charge, yeah.
And, pretty happy with the chariots there, doing some damage. If I can get...
So, ironically, you could have put your ambushes on that side then.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Centaurs go in, kill the Imperial Rangers, and then charge front of spears.
Yeah, nothing to worry about there.
Let's move on. His turn. This is actually after magic and shooting, believe it or not. So it doesn't move forward much. Actually moves his griffin down the left side. Fails to rally with his riders, but does rally with his rangers. Takes some more DTs, whatever. Magic, I don't think it gets anything off. I think he has a really bad phase. But in shooting, his volley gun that isn't being pointed at right now shoots
and
does what? I don't know, 10 wounds, is it?
Yeah, looks
10 wounds, maybe 9. And I'm like, oh god, that's why I stayed clear of him, you know.
Yeah, you pass panic.
I passed the panic though, which is very good, very good.
Are they discipline 7 or 6?
7, I think. So, yeah.
Okay.
Right, yeah, that's just showing the Mass Effect.
Reliving.
Yeah. So, he focus fires on this giant now, with the other one dead. So, does 4 wounds in total. I think 3 from the cannon again. Cannon's having a good day.
Oh, wow. 3 shots out of 3.
The Reiters and or the crossbows do the other one as well. This didn't go well. Move on. So it didn't really go well for the chariot either.
Yeah,
never going to in the grind. I would say the heavy infantry unit have now moved on to the spoils and looking to pick that one up as well.
Yeah, sure.
Spaghetti Junction happens. So this really all revolves around the electoral cav that are pretty much dead centre for him. My giant charged them to start off with. Being quite close, he fled. Then my wild horns at the bottom charged it to move it back up. The giant passed its redirect and charged into the steam tank. And as that's now moving, the chariots were able to get a charge off onto the electoral cav, who were already fleeing, who then fled to that position. The wild horns, the wild horns passed their redirect and then declared a charge on the volley gun, and the longhorns. I wish I had guns. Charged into the Imperial Rangers chaff, which I'm pretty happy with, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well. And that's where it's at. So, everyone. So the giant and the chariots fail charge because it's. I think the giant needed like quite a long charge to get into the steam tank again. But I mean he's got a decent amount of attacks now, and at strength 7 AP 4 he could actually do a decent amount of wounds. So if I can get into him with a dying monster, perhaps I could do all right otherwise. But
put a few dents in it, yeah.
Yeah. The wild horns at the bottom didn't quite have enough space to wheel round and to get in. It does very much look like they could, like even from this position. But even going straight, they hit the crossbows first.
Yeah, I suppose the war machine can't close the door to you.
Yeah, so it was one of those things.
It rolls onto you.
Yeah, I was like, how is it going? There's just something I just completely missed. So probably mistake number 2. As they then just stumble forward and are sort of in no man's land there, ready for a couple of volley guns to shoot.
I suppose you wish you'd just charged the crossbows from the off, really.
Yeah, so I would have been facing their rear, so they would have been steadfast, but I would have been out of combat. So
And out of shooting range, yeah.
Shooting, yeah. Yeah, so
that's
a bit sucky. I get 1 wound off on the steam tank though, so every little bit helps, as Sainsbury's would say. Then I get I kill the remaining writer with my wild horns, who are out of arc of the griffin. So happy days there.
Massive 100 odd points for that.
Yeah, the other rangers who had 9, I'd kill 8 of them, which is pretty good. But one of them gets away and survives, so is fleeing away. So again, I'm a bit in no man's land, but I've got my monsters to back me up, so I'm not too bothered about that.
Yeah, that's okay.
On his turn, he declares 2 charges, and that's all, and both fail. So the griffin at the bottom left needed a long charge to get into the giant and failed, whereas the griffin in the middle charged because he's a flyer, charged the chariots who fled, which made him fail as well. So that's where they ended up.
He didn't redirect the griffin on the chariots, though.
Sorry?
He didn't redirect the griffin.
I think he failed that, or he didn't want to. I think there was a chance that he didn't want to be honest, because like the grip, the Gore-Tex actually do a number on him because he's like really good armor. But if I get a 6 to wound, then it's multiple wounds D3. So actually, he's not that good against me.
No,
I don't think he kills me in 1 round, which makes Gore-Tex even better as well. So.
Yeah.
Moves Steam Tank up this way. Rallies his Electoral Cav, even though he hasn't done it that yet. Well, he's done it just then. So that's his movement. So basically, now the big thing is that he's moved his Divination Mage up. Which is
right near now. Yeah, it doesn't matter these 18 inches now.
So I've got to deal with his shooting, which I've taken down a little bit. But then he's added in with the divination, so let's see how bad that does to me. And the answer is quite a lot, because that Gore-Tex, even though he looks alive, dies in the very next picture.
Yikes.
Which is great. He kills a couple of gargoyles here with...
So he's taken the pyro attribute with his Empire hereditary, is he?
Yeah. I think he did this on Krugar. Failed on him, but did the... Or, I don't know.
So that's Fireball, then. That's Fireball.
Yeah. The writers end up killing off the giant. So that's 2 monsters down in a turn.
Okay, right, I see.
And the volley gun on the right shoots at these guys, because they're now in plain sight, and they die. And the volley gun on the left, thankfully, because of all sorts of cover and range, whatever, only get 1. But that just shows you the lethalness of the Empire shooting that they've got here.
Absolutely.
And the steam tank didn't even do anything, so there you go.
Finally. This is like turn 4, though,
well, it's because he chose to move. He chose not to fire it. So, on my turn, I'm kind of at this point thinking, well, I've lost 2... Well, I guess it's 1.5, right? I guess it's 1.5, really.
Yeah.
Monsters in a turn. But I've only got 2 monsters left, and then he can go after all my other points, and I haven't really got a lot.
No, there's not much substance to the list, is there?
2 units of rangers, 2 units of writers before this, so I'm kind of in a bit of a spot. So I decided to go for broke, because I've had 2 pretty cagey games already.
Yes.
And there is an argument here that I could just back off as much as possible.
It's not my argument.
But, well, yeah. But that would be really cagey. And it's like 12 o'clock, right? So I'm like, I'm not doing a cagey game now. So so in order, I charge with my longhorns, who are into the rangers who flee. And I fail my redirect to get into the steam tank, which I was kind of looking forward to. I then charge Krugar into the writers who flee, and then I fail my redirect to get into the Griffin.
Oh no!
Which is like, that's annoying. So my plan would have been to try and get into the Griffin and then overrun into the writers. I think he does a decent job. I think he's got like 4 or 5 attacks at strength 8. So I should do a number on the thing if I can get some magic off him on him as well.
Yeah, magic to make sure, but I would say so.
So that was really gutting, and that's kind of like I'm now in the bit of the open with not a lot else I can do to those. So I'm like, so the Gortak on the bottom goes after the Griffin because that's the obvious choice.
That's good.
And
that's good.
Probably the biggest risk is I took the Giant and the Razor Tusk Chariot into the steam tank. It's already got 1 wound. It's only got 5 left. If I can get a good job on the impact hits, maybe some magic help, I might be able to do something there. And my Giant's strength 7, so if he can hit, he'll do some wounds, you know. So,
is he strength 7 or strength 6?
Strength 7 because of fearless, because of drunk. Sorry.
Oh right, cool.
So drunk gives you +1 strength and AP on the charge.
Nice.
And he's got the giant club,
beast club, giant club, whatever it's called. Yeah.
Yeah. So
cool.
Yeah, he's got a chance. I need to kill it. But if I don't, it's not the worst thing in the world because of chaff and stuff. But if I do, I get an overrun into his crossbows. So it's like high risk, high reward. But actually, it's quite. If I don't get it, it's, all that sort of thing. So, so
you mentioned magic support.
Magic support. My first spell is that top one that says Trip 111, which was actually I think a Touch of the Reaper on his Griffin to try and eke out some dice, which obviously I didn't eke out. Which means I then got a 5 dice left. Let's go for it. First 5 dice in about a year.
I've never seen you roll 5 dice in this version of the game.
So the positive is I get Whispers of the Veil off on his steam tank. So he's now only res 5, and I'm strength 5 with my Razor Tusk and strength 7. So it actually does help. The negative
it does.
Is I rolled a 666.
and 5 dice it.
Using 5 dice means he's
It wasn't
dead.
an 8 magic phase, I'm guessing.
No, it wasn't. It does look like it there, but it wasn't, I don't think.
Because that would be the only way to not get sucked into the hole.
So he dies.
Mm.
So it makes it even riskier now.
Very much so.
I'm really banking on the steam tank dying now, but So even if one of them 6s is a 5, it is a good idea. But don't. Oh no, there you go. It's Flux 5. It's in the middle of the screen.
Oh yes, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, don't 5 dice, folks.
I'm guessing
Tony was in the back of my head saying 5 dice, 5 dice, 5 dice.
Good old Tony. Yeah. Always works for him though, right?
Always. I don't think it's ever failed. But again, sticking with the positives, my Gortak smashes up the Griffin. So over there, I've got quite a nice little pairing. Hopefully.
No, that's great. Yeah.
However.
Okay.
So going in, my giant, strength 7 giant, and my impact hit strength 5 Restless Chariot. I do 1 wound on the impact hits, and that's it. He
and
does
more.
3 on the grind to my giant, and whatever it is, 1 to my Razor Tusk Chariot. With
I don't even know how he's done that.
I don't know how it happened, but it did. And,
is it a breath weapon?
A breath weapon, I think. Yeah. Either way, he's done a grind and a breath weapon on 1 of 1. And, ends up that I lose combat by 1, and both fail. Oh, you can see the rolls, actually. 5 and 6 and 3 and 6.
And that's why we're on the stop last picture, I guess.
1 o'clock in the morning or whatever it is. When that happens, after your major's just been sucked into the hole, and your risk has not paid off, son.
No.
We called it there.
Go back to the overview, and we'll see what it kind of looked like. There you go.
So the reason it was basically is because I lost my wizard. Obviously, I'm probably going to lose the giant and the Razor Tusk that have just gone into the steam tank, because steam tank now has free ability to go into any of them. Same with the Longhorns. So it kind of just leaves Kruger, who is very easily divinationed, or he can even get charged at that point. I can't flee because
he can't do it on his own, can
he? Drunk or whatever. And then the Gortak and the things in the left. I could have done something. There's an argument that I shouldn't have just given up at this point, but I haven't done anything. I haven't got any points to him. He's got the objective. When I fail all that stuff, he's definitely got the objective. And then, I don't know, I felt he's got 3 turns of magic and shooting, which I did not enjoy. So
no, because it's his turn after this, so you can literally just... So, before you even do anything, he's taken another...
Yeah. The fact I had a bad turn on my turn, sort of like, I was just like, oh, no, man.
It's a double whammy when it's your turn. Yeah.
So, called it there. Perhaps would have been a 19 at best.
I think you'd have had to work really hard to keep your points. A bit like on my non-tactical withdrawal against Jeff's Empire in round 1.
Yeah. So
that was a tough one. So
yeah. So yeah, but Gio, really nice guy, really good to play. I would play him again, not necessarily this exact matchup, but I would play him again.
Bring out your high bonds.
So yeah, really good game. Not a good game in terms of points and stuff. Made a few mistakes, but not really that many. I don't know. Worth getting comments on that and how I should have played it. Should I have just thrown? I don't know what it's not balls to the water. What's the thing? What's the saying? Should have thrown my balls to the water and just gone for it aggressively. I don't know. Please tell me how.
Caution to the wind. Caution to the wind.
Caution
maybe.
to the wind.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All the phrases.
Whatever the niches are. Whatever. What should I have done? Where did I go wrong? What were the neat tricks and things? How do other Beast-Herd players deal with that sort of shooting? That's what I want to know.
I don't think a lot can deal with that sort of shooting. That's it's not even deceptively shooting.
I don't know. I'm always very like, no matter what, there aren't any matchups that are you just can't ever win. But then I had this, and I was like, oh, that's very close to going against my philosophy.
Yeah, this was a 0-20 matchup right from the start. And I wasn't happy about being right on this one. I mean, you haven't put the 20-0 up yet, but it is that.
I could have been really, really ultra negative. I think I could have, like, even from the start, I could have kept him at bay and got a 15-5 loss, maybe, just by throwing him some extra chaff and keeping everything out. Like Centaurs, for example, probably not worth losing them. Not that.
There are a few times where you lost more points than you could have done. But,
but when the Giant and that failed completely on the Steam Tank, that's game. I think.
A Steam Tank MVP, to be honest, because it's taken out 3 monsters. The Chariot.
I think it did 9 wounds on the shooting, and then obviously that in the combat. So.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it is good though. That's what it's there for.
Of course.
But yeah. Anyway, that's it. So
cool.
the score. I've already spoiled it. 0-20.
Hey, so obviously we know that doesn't necessarily add to your tournament score.
No.
You're on a win and
small
2
win,
losses.
Small loss. Yeah.
And this. So that puts you at roughly mid-table, slightly below maybe?
Yes.
Okay, so but looking to forget this one and move on to round 4.
Yeah, that's it. I guess bad matchup happens, but I was like, come on, guys, come on. I felt like I've played 3 really cagey games as well. I just want to beat someone up.
Yeah, absolutely. You need to sub in your warriors or something.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that drubbing on Lucky Sixes.
Yep.
Just doesn't happen often, but he took one to the rear there.
To the ball in the water.
And do give us comments on what you should have done. Also, comment on the microphone setup, the sound quality.
Microphone and webcam.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go back to the blurry one because I'm too good looking, Just let me know.
There is that. I've actually turned you off, so I can't see you. No, I'm ready.
So have most
cool.
people.
Yeah.
I think at this point.
Great. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see my round 3. I've got 2 big beatings, round 1 and 2, 1-19s against 2 very good opponents, and now I found myself on the bottom table in a rematch from one of my pre-tournament friendlies. So we'll see how this goes. See you for the next one, guys.
See you later.